Hello, I'm here. All right, so it's 9:05 instead of 9:01. What are you going to do? Well, we're going to just show you some New York Post front pages. Trump is president. They said it couldn't be done. The penny drops. Nice headline. The manslaughter charge off the table. So this is on Friday, I think. Saturday the 7th. And the jury was sent home and they'll reconvene on Monday morning. So then the jury heard some of the and the jury rejects Bragg's indictment of a man who protected subway riders. Thank God. It looked like they were trying to do anything to get a conviction. That's what I think. Oops. Oops, sorry, folks. Playing with my microphone. Let me be added to this. There we go. I'm here. Yeah. Slow but mighty. Enough is enough. Yeah. And he was ruled not guilty on the lesser charge. So that's it. Daniel Penny's a free man. Let's read the fine print here. Whoops. You can expando it. Yeah. Daniel Penny celebrates yesterday after the jury acquitted him of negligent homicide in the death of Jordan Neely. He faces backlash for charging Penny for subduing Neely, a homeless man who screamed, "Someone's going to die today." Can you imagine? That's what this guy is screaming in the ears of everybody in that train car. And you're trapped in that train car. But with this guy standing over you, it's tough to get up to try to move to another car and walk down that alleyway. That's when you get chased down or shot or something. Yeah. Here's my son's Christmas tree. It's a real tree. So the story here basically is Prime Minister Justin Trudeau visited Mar-a-Lago, and Trump basically said, you clean up your act and stop letting illegals in your country jump the border to our country. You need to strengthen up what's going on at your border. Obviously the best thing would be to trap these illegals when they're entering your country. But for those who end up in your country for some reason, then you should expel them. Instead of letting them in our country. Because if they don't have the proper visa or something to get into your country, they're going to be illegal in our country. So, and if you don't, we're putting a 25% tariff on all your exports to our country. That's what's going there. That's these 2 pages. It is Mar-a-Lago. So they put an old tariff thread on. So if he doesn't shape up, he's going to be tariffed 25%. Trump is putting him on notice. That's why he flew down. Talk Trump into not doing that. Well, Trump's going to go right back to what he said. Clean up your act or we're going to tariff you starting a certain day. That day and the tariff amount isn't quoted in that article. I just remember that I recall that he said that. And the tariff was 25%. And would be, when he gets in office, he can't make the change now. He's not president now. But he can tell you what's going to happen January 1st or January 19th or 20th. Yeah. So Tesla's got a new Model Q. So we already have a Model S, X, Y, and 3. Model 3. So now we're going to have a 5th model called Model Q coming first half of 25. Here's what's going to happen. This is a Wall Street Journal article. Deutsche Bank's report. She says, I got a copy of the Deutsche Bank report. Here's what it does say. Number 1. Travel Axelrod met with Deutsche Bank for its autonomous driving day on December 5th in New York City. DB, abbreviation for Deutsche Bank, DB describes the new Tesla model, which is called Model Q. DB says it will launch in the first half of 25 and will cost less than $30,000. Do I have any more on this? I'm reading this page here, which you can read. Doesn't say. Model Q. Anyway, so a Model Q is coming. And we're going to find out more about what's going on with that. How to fix Gmails when it's not received. When it's not receiving emails. Alright, here's one case. Your Gmail account has a limit on it of so many gigabytes of attachments and the email itself. The email generally calls for like 15 gigabytes, something like that. So you have to go to Google, which you click along to find your Google app when you got this message. Or if you didn't get this message, you go to your Google app and you want to look in your Gmail account for the storage. And there's probably going to be a sign on there that you're over the storage limit. So you got to increase it to, to 100 gigabytes, for example. If you used up 15, 15 gigabytes as it relates to 100 is like 7%. Another year or so of usability. So then as soon as you buy, which costs you, $1 a year or something, they don't charge a lot of money for their storage behind your email account. I choose to save every email and every attachment. Yeah, that's just because the storage close is inexpensive. I have, I already went through my 15 gigabytes of memory, so, and I already went to the 100 gigabyte, and now I'm on 200 gigabytes, because my email stopped being received by me, which is what this means. How to fix Gmail when it's not receiving emails. It's not receiving them because it can't store them. So you have to indicate an increased storage amount. So you have to go to your Google account and update that. You should have a message somewhere on your text message. You can do it on your text message. It'll take you right to where you need to go. Yeah, they don't stop your emails without sending you a couple of warnings. So you should be able to find a Gmail text message. Because if they just turned you off, it happened, a couple of weeks ago. So Marilyn had the same problem. It turned off her emails. She didn't realize it for, like a week or so. I said, well, give me your phone. I'll update it for you, or your iPad. You can see all the opportunities easier if you go to your iPad and look it up. All right, what's next here? 10 mind-blowing travel hacks the airlines don't want you to know. You can find that article on this Pick the Windows Pick the window seat. That's how you can find the travel destination. Mind-blowing travel hacks that the airlines don't want you to see. So go there, and you'll get the full story. She looks happy. SpaceX valuation is soaring higher. What is the best way to buy it? You can buy it, but you have to buy big chunks. You know, like $100,000 pieces. It's going public. So you can wait till then, or try to get in before it's actually public. Tesla and SpaceX are both doing an awful lot. You know, the robotic personal device, their Optimus robot. They're manufacturing them in the Tesla factory in Texas, I believe. In the same huge facility that the Tesla cars are manufactured in. So that's going to be, you know, they're going to have another test flight, test flight 7, SpaceX's Mars rocket ship. All right, moving along. All right, so Newsmax is saying, let's talk Trump's SecDef nomination, Secretary of Defense. The military calls it SecDef. The nominee, Pete Hegseth. So this is the article. Newsmax instructed its staff, to lay off Peter Hegseth, the Fox News host that Donald Trump nominated to serve as SecDef, Secretary of Defense. After a segment bashing the pick sparked the ire of Trump himself. Greg Kelly, who runs the 9 p.m. hour on Newsmax, tore into Hegseth last week, calling him blackmailable because of his baggage, and arguing he hasn't done nearly enough for MAGA to have earned the top spot in the Pentagon. Soon after the segment, the Trump team got in touch with the CEO of Newsmax, Chris Ruddy, to express the president-elect's displeasure with the commentary. Media light. The sources said Trump also called Rudy directly to complain about the segment. All right. So, on one hand, you have Donald Trump and Hegseth saying, "Oh, they're doing well, and everybody likes us." And blah, blah, blah. You know, the news media has been reading some of these articles that are coming out, and they're not good, because I read them. And I'm questioning whether he can actually be nominated, because if and when they go to trial, no, I wouldn't say trial, but they go live with the senators, with the Congress, the senators hear this, and it's a hearing that Hegseth has to answer questions about, a few obvious things, just to get him on record on he's being nominated for SecDef. And he'll say, "Yes, I have been." "Have you seen a lot of senators?" "Yes, I've seen a lot of the senators." Okay, well, they're probably listening to this broadcast. And the next question, we'll turn it over to whoever. The next question has to do with someone filing a sexual harassment, rape lawsuit against you in New York State. I believe it's in New York State. No, it's in Southern California. Yeah, and the young lady says that you penetrated her without her permission. No, the door's closed. He went on to do it anyway, apparently. So 4 days after this tryst in a hotel room, they both met at a bar, and they were having cocktails till past midnight. And then he walks her down the hallway. She's not resisting this at all. Now, if do you want to come to my room? What do you think that means? If some lady asked me to come down to her boudoir, you can use your imagination. If you say, okay, then that means you're willing to take your pants off and, and everything else should be obvious. Yeah. Well, apparently she doesn't have an imagination. So when he asks you to his bedroom there's not much in the room other than a bed. Yeah, what are you going to watch TV? So she walked down the bedroom and he proceeded to, get her undressed, get him undressed, and, yeah. Well, halfway through that, she changed her mind, which is a terrible thing to do. So that's the first offense. Then he had at another meeting, he had several other sexual harassment statements made to Pete Hegseth's company that he was working for. So he's had 4 complaints. There was one other unmentionable. So they're going to inquire, the House of the House leadership has a department. People got to look up these allegations and bring them to life at these hearings. So he's going to have several senators that are interested in this topic. They're on the fence. And this is the kind of information that'll throw them, some stress. And there are other senators that'll be, turned off with this. Other senators were turned off and they're neutral on it now, but when they hear it in the hearing, after the House of Representatives interrogates the sources of these stories, now the administration to be, the Trump administration will be activated on the day he's inaugurated, and then they're going to go live with these, and they'll probably have, one, if they have 2 or 3 senators that are already turned off, this will turn them off more, because they'll have, the people that are prosecuting the hearing will have dug down. I dug down and found a lawsuit filed against him, and it was, that's what this is talking about. And this young lady, yes, was, her name wasn't exposed, but the young lady was known to the police department that filed a 20-page report. And if you look at the report, which these people got a hold of, the unredacted version, it details all this, and you can see who the complainant is and who the complainer was. So the administration to be saying that he's being, prosecuted by unknown witnesses. Well, that's not true. This one's known. When you go into the Department of what do you call it? The Senate has people that work for it that can perform the research on topics like this. And he was fired, and that was the word that was used by the head of that organization, which was, he was the CEO of, let's see if I can find this. I think I'm going the wrong way. Pete Hegseth's confirmation will be a very unpleasant process for him and his family, warns John Cornyn. Now he's one that's on the fence with him. He says, I'm supporting Pete Hegseth's confirmation, and I believe ultimately he'll be confirmed. The story was said on Wednesday morning. Probably so that would have been Thursday, and this Cornyn probably said this on Wednesday. Yeah, no one's saying no now. And the question is, who's going to say no after the hearing? Cornyn is warning, except it's really going to be a real drastic hearing, because this House committee has dug up all these details, and the senators aren't going to like hearing it. And it the emotion of that moment they're on the fence, and this would blow off the fence in not confirming him for that. I give it a 50-50 chance of being confirmed at this point, because they keep digging up stuff. He was fired from 2 funds. Yeah, I'm trying to find I don't think I'm going to find it here. Let's go this way. I have the mail. There's the new car. Model Q. Yeah, let's go into yesterday. Yeah. Lena Haba is Trump rewards the fire-breathing lawyer with high-ranking title, counselor to the president. That's a nice thing to have on your business card. Counselor to the president of the United States. That means you hang around him quite a lot and answer a lot of questions, legal questions. back 3 days. Look at this right here. You see this lighting fixture in the middle of this table setting? I just bought 4 of those for our dining room table. And during the evening you can turn the brightness down. You have 3 settings for your color temperature. I recommend the middle setting. In degrees Kelvin. It's either 8,000 degrees, 6,000 degrees, or, like 4,000 degrees. Something on that order. And the middle setting has a nice warm tone to it. And you put that in the middle of your place setting. Maybe it'd be up here. So you line 4 of them up on a 3, 6, it's an 8 setting table with an end seat on both ends and 3 on the wide. It can actually hold 10. But we set it for 8. So I figured every 2 place settings would have one by setting them up evenly distanced in the middle of the table. And it's 14 inches high, so it'll rise above, anything that's in the middle of the table reasonably. And this will be instead of candles, which we don't have the candles and the reflector up high enough to illuminate the settings. It just illuminates everything. But we saw these, we witnessed these as we sat out on the patio of Reno's. And they had these on every place, in the middle of every table. A setting for 4, where they're all sitting opposite each other. So it's a 4 top, as opposed to 2 against 2. It's 2 around a 4 top table. So the 2 by 2 would be this way. I don't know how to express it on the. So it'd be this way. There's 1 place setting. Here's 2. There's 3. There's 4. And they're set like that. Around a 4 top table that's rectangular, which is square in shape, and you sit on each side of it, it would be like this. Yeah. You could probably use 2 instead of 4. But they're real neat. I mean, the illumination is exquisite coming out of this top of this guy. Yeah. So you have 3 settings for shade, what color of the light. And you have, a whole variety of settings on how much intensity. You want 100%, 80%. So you can just go up and down with that button on the bottom. for the color, temperature, and the brightness. I don't remember the brightness setting. It was 1 in the middle of the table for a table of 4. They probably had it on its brightest setting. It was spectacular, though. I was looking on the bottom to see what they called it, and probably took a picture of it on my phone. So I just described it on Amazon, and they came up with some suggestive answers, and one of these popped up, so I clicked on it. So I ordered it, and I will get it for like 2 weeks. There's the specifications of it. This is when I looked at flat black. They have all of them have the same specs. 6,000 milliampere hours of the power in the batteries that are in the base. Voltage is 3 volts. Color temperature 2700, 4000 and 6000. I added the middle one because it's between it. So you have 2700 and you got 6000. 2700 setting shows up like this. It has a tan light coloring. 6 to 8 hours. The power is 5 volts, 1 amp when you charge it. So the light settings are white, warm, and natural. Okay. So it gives you 240 light lumens of light. An IP rating, that's they advertise it can be caught in the rain outside, and it won't ruin it because it has an IP54 rating. And that doesn't mean you can drop it in the pool. That has to have a higher rating, like an IPX7, something like that, which I think is the rating on the watch that I'm wearing. Apple Watch has a higher rating. This can drop in the water 3 feet for 30 minutes. And then they don't guarantee the water sneaking in a seal somewhere. Natural matte aluminum coating. There's the switch going through the cycling of the color temperature and how long you want it to run. Non-slip foam bottom, and on the side is a USB-C port for charging. So it's got a convenient charging thing. There they are in a library on the shelf. Yeah. Pretty cool. There's Helena Hava. There she is again, little story below. I'll go through this tomorrow. This is what happens to an electric battery with the anode and the cathode, and where the where the lithium is, and how lithium is used, and why it's used, and all that. So this is a solid state battery, where this yellow piece in the middle so that middle part, this middle part, the yellow, sulfide, solid state particles. And this part over here, which is the anode. So you got the anode over here, and you got the cathode over here. Cathode active material, conductive additives, so you can see up here, talks about the let's make this full screen for a minute. There you go, now we can see it here. The right, so you can do a freeze frame and read through these different definitions. That's a chemical representation of what's going on the anodes and the cathodes. The main story with this is that the solid state battery can accept a super fast charger, which you could use a 1000-volt charger instead of a 500-volt charger. when you're filling up in an electric station that has high speed, or the 500 volt. So it takes you 20 minutes with the lower voltage. It takes you, less than 10 minutes with the high voltage charger. If your battery can accept, a L3. I think that's called an L3 charger. Level 3. Level 2 is accepting a 230 volt charger up to 48 amps. So it can do a 30 amp. It just takes you a little longer to charge. What takes 20 minutes will take 40 minutes to do. That's the difference in L2, because you have, you could have a 230 volt circuit. That's good for, 20 amps. The 20 amp circuit right there, the 230. Since it only has a 30 amp circuit, so I can charge 230 volt, 240 volts with 230 volts, and that energy gets fed into one port, and then one port is split in half, so that you have a charger on 7 of the packs. This is divided up into 14 packs. So you can break that to 2 7 package cells. And the other 7 packages cells, is connected through the one port from that level 2 service. And when you get the 500 amp, when you get the 1000 amp box, that'd be, would be the L3, the high end of L3. It has 2 15 amp chargers. And it senses 1,000 amp circuit, 230 volt cathode and anode. So the charge times become much more attractive. 10 amps for the level 3. This splits into 2 packs. And the other part of L3, which charges, feeds the charging voltage into 2 separate chargers, but the charging rate is slower because the amperage is less. And that software is all in the car. You don't have to do anything, you just plug it in. And it figures out what the level of service is from the provider. so it knows how to clock speed, how it's going to fill you. It's going to fill you, 13.5 cents or 14 cents per kilowatt. So the meter that's running over there, underneath everything, that tells you what the charging rates are. And you're paying, 7.5 cents per kilowatt. You have two settings on the 230. You have a 30 amp circuit where you got a 48 ampere hour setting. So President-elect Donald Trump has named his personal lawyer, Alina Habba, as counselor to the president. Yeah. It seems like she turned down she was offered the press secretary, which she would be on Air Force One with the president if she was press secretary. She'd have to go with him to every trip he made, because she would define for him things that are going on, and she'd have to be knowledgeable of all this. Because she'd be, when she's not out of town, she'd be meeting with the press every day at 1 o'clock. And they would talk about, a bunch of topics. So she replaced that black lady that's got her hair always up in some kind of crazy bun that flips over and falls down on her, on the top of her head. But she didn't take that job. She gave some kind of excuse that, she's been unwavering in her loyalty, First generation American of Middle Eastern heritage. She has become a role model for women in law and politics. 40 years old. There she goes. Max's Grill sold last week. Burt Rappaport was one of the partners in there for 33 years from the day it opened. He was a partner with Dennis Max. And Dennis Max's wife. There were five owners. He ended up with one of the Dennis Max's piece. Let's see. There was another partner that sold their interest to him. Dennis Max's piece went to his wife because of a divorce. So one of those assets was a partnership in Dennis Max. Dennis Max was no longer a partner in Max's Grill. Yeah. So they all decided, they got an offer and it was presented to all the partners. And all the partners said, yeah, let's sell. So that was it. The broker was authorized to sign on the deal. So he's in this Gmail that he sent out blast to 250 people. I'm on the list of people that get that email. So he's thanking, to all the employees that work at Max's Grill. And a thank you to all those who patronized it. It was most appreciated. That's a picture that I may have taken, actually, of Max's grill. There's another one that has more stuff over here. Let's change the focal length. Stepped to the south a little bit. Yep. Sequela was sold to some Italian people. Sequela was owned by Jewish people. So this was Sequela Cafe by Biazzo. Now they changed the menu a very little bit. This is the lunch menu. So you can see what's offered here. Prices aren't on here, but you know, these are $10, $11, $12. I had quiche Lorraine. One of the quiches of the day, they had two of them, I think. I had a cup of soup over here on the top. Yeah, a cup and a bowl of soup. I'm looking for where it is on the menu. Maybe it's over here. Yeah, soup of the day. Served with vegetable bread. Served with a bread cup. I don't know what that means. And a vegetable soup cup. Yeah. So I got quiche Lorraine, there it is. So I got a cup of soup, quiche Lorraine. Quiche Lorraine was exquisite. Carolyn had the spinach one. She said, I don't like it so much. I said, okay. What didn't you like about it? I forget what she said. But it had a load of spinach in it. It probably had too much spinach. Maybe it wasn't cooked long enough. Spinach, you know, didn't get soft. It was still, you know, crispy raw leaf, I think, was her main complaint. Yeah, well, I liked it. The next picture is just the middle part of this.
It's 10:15.
These are like the lunches of the day. Served with a salad or French fries. Expand of that, and you take a look at that. We've eaten there 2 or 3 times since it's changed hands. Mine was okay, and Marilyn, excuse me, didn't like her quiche. A little sneeze attack there. I was watching the golf match last Sunday, and they had a picture of this super yacht right here. Look at the second level of that. Oh my God. The third level and the fourth level. It's got an elevator. Date of the match on Saturday. Oh, no, this is the final round. It says right up there, final round. So this was taken on Sunday. But Scheffler and Thomas were tied at minus 17 after playing 2 holes on the 4th day. And everybody else you can see below them. I watched Scheffler play those 2 rounds. He's got a goofy swing, but I'll tell you what, he is accurate as hell for angle and you know, putting the ball way up in the air and having it come down and not run off the green. So you gotta hit high shots. You see a lot of balls running off the green. You hit them high enough so that they stop. It has backspeed on it. That's a big gadget. I like both elements of this picture. Number one, I had a big yacht in there. If we could see the name of the... Yeah, we can't see the name of the boat. And we can see, and they had this summary of all the golfers. You know, some of them finished all 9 holes. Or they go over to the other side and play the remaining 9 holes. But they start in reverse order of low to high. So that's why Scheffler and Thomas are on finished hole 2, Kim finished hole 3. So he's playing with Bradley. So then we had Gallega. He's in 4th position, along with McIntyre. They must be playing together. But his scorecard is, what are we doing? Talladega and Bahia. No, they're not playing together. He's 3 with 4. He's playing with McIntyre. So they're 9 under par as of the 4th hole. Cantley, he's 6 under after 5 holes. Straka, 6 holes. Jason Day, he's 1 over. And Finley is 3 under. See, they both have 10 after their names. That means they're playing together. 6-9s. This is Burns. Padlock. There's the 9. You can see where the playing are. Here's another picture taken in This is Schindler on 17. He's playing hole number 3. There's Maryland. Do a little shadow picture there. Sugar Sand Park. There's Santa Claus. Lipoflavonoid. That's pills I take every day. It cuts down the ringing in the ears. It reduces it big time. I think I paid $25 for 150 of them. It's 29 maybe. Yeah, 150. So I take 4 3 times a day. Just to do that for a while to get my body stabilized on these chemicals, these supplements you're taking. So I take them morning, noon, and night, 3 times a day. That's my family of 4, and 1970, maybe. Let's see if we get a date in there. No. Syrians celebrate the opposition fighters in Damascus. So they're surrounding the place and, releasing prisoners and creating havoc in the capital. That's one of al-Assad's tanks burning. They shot up his face on the poster. That you wouldn't think of doing that if it wasn't for the insurgents are taking over the country piece by piece. Yep, he's sitting tall in that seat. He won't be sitting there anymore. Because now, who's running Syria is up in the air. It'll be one of several people. Trump was at a boxing match, which he was exposed as he's on the TV camera. Yeah, this is another Trumper that took a picture with his own camera, put it up on the internet, and his organization posted this picture. He doesn't want to, that's for sure. Watch this, if I touch his coat, hold it. Here it is, copy. So now you can go to your anywhere that you're sending messages to. I'll send this to Daniel. So yeah. Looking for a taste. Pictures. This was taken on 12/12. It's 12. Oh my God. What a coincidence. Yeah. It's 12 at 12 a.m. They just pulled over Al-Assad's statue. There you go, you see it again. This keeps repeating unless I stop it. These are people totally moving out. There are people that I don't know whether they're out or in, but the guy with the noose around the neck statue is yanking it. Whoop! He's done. That's usually the end when the statue goes down. This is about leaving. Proud to be leaving. Extraordinary situation in Syria. I'll say. He's walking around like everything's fine, but he's being attacked on all sides. So they made a deal with him to get out. And then he had to make a deal with Russia to get in. So all of that has been done to have the Assad family move out after 50 years of having total control of that country. And I mean total. You spoke up after Assad and you were a goner. Yeah, literally. So the Syrian government appears to have fallen after his family, with a bunch of luggage, got on his plane, which is a 4-engine jet. Looks like an oversized DC-9 with 4 engines instead of 2. So they showed this still image page with the 3 photographs on 12:12 at 12:10 a.m. And 2 minutes later, that's 11, 12:12, 11 a.m., 11 a.m., 12:12. So he's gone. They're pulling his head off. That's not related. Yeah, this is the plane he took off in. Now this picture doesn't have anything to do with the flight that he's on course for. This picture, the plane was landing. But you see on the wing, under the wing, are 2 engines on a pylon. And there are 2 engines on a pylon on the other wing. You can see one edge of one of the engines there. So aircraft is one of those. IL-76. The registration is YK ATA. It's currently at 1,600 feet. All right. We've been on the air for 1 hour and 35 minutes. Oops. Banging into things here. I wish you a happy day. We'll let you have the rest of your day. And I'll click off and come on tomorrow morning, same time. 9 o'clock or thereabouts. Yeah. Bye-bye.